Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. So the Dynam Tiger Moth is sold. I figured we would take it apart, see how small I can get it, so I can get it boxed up, and that way the new owner might have a little manual to put it back together. These little flying wires, I'm gonna try to keep them separated, so if the person wants to use the wire setup that I made, that might easily be able to put it back how it came off, and it'll make for some good content. It's sold for $2.50. Not bad, huh? I paid about $200 for it several years ago. Flew it one time, had countless nights fiddling with it, so I've got my money's worth out of it, and it's time for it to go to the new home. So I say let's take it apart and see how small we can make it. All right, let's dig in. All right, first things first, we got to get this guy up on a stand, and then we need to get the flying wires off. These guys right in here. Little tiny Phillips. Right there. Boy, these guys are tiny. Can't believe I found a socket small enough for those guys. Small. We'll do one more together, and then I'll knock them out real quick. Guess I can put the nuts back on there. That way we won't lose them. All right, let's do one over here. Much easier when you get the right tool for the job. This Dynam Tiger Moth was the third plane that I ever bought. I got my E-Flight Apprentice, or Ready to Fly Apprentice, and then you know that plane came with one battery. And then realizing how expensive LiPo batteries were, I said to myself that I'm going to go with the glow airplanes, because fuel has got to be, less expensive than having to buy several battery packs. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and I found somebody that had a SIG 4-star 54. And the manufacturer's name is SIG. They've been around for ages. And it was a kind of a sport plane, 54-inch, and it had everything but a receiver. And then I took my receiver out of my Apprentice, and I put it in that glow engine SIG 4-star 54. It had a 4-stroke Sato 65, I believe. And I took it out to the park, and I flew it 3-4 tanks one day, and then I went back out to the park again, and when I got there that time, there was people there that belonged to the club that flew out of that park, and I didn't belong to the club, and they started to tell me about how you can't fly glow airplanes at that park because of the noise or something. So that particular day I didn't fly the plane because they told me I couldn't. And I think I flew it a time or two after that. And then I got this plane. And this was my third one. And this one was a PNP, they called it. plug and play, but it still came in a bunch of pieces, like a lot more pieces than a bind and fly. And I just had a good time building this plane and learning about it. I had a really good time. Countless hours and evenings working on this thing. Had a blast. And now it's off to a new home. Off to a new home. A lucky winner on eBay won the auction. And I priced out the shipping, and I've got to stay below 40 inches length and 14 inches by 16 inches is the dimensions that I need to stay within, or the shipping goes up a lot. At 40 inches long, 14 by 16, it'll be about $33 for postage. Anything over that, it's more than double. So measuring from the back of the rudder to about where the motor is like 38 and a half. So that's this gonna be cutting it close. The wings are gonna be going in sideways or something. But I've sold several airplanes on eBay and creative with the shipping. Creative with shipping. All right, I'll get these wires boxed up and then we'll do some other stuff. They just stuck in there like that. Alright, the last piece to take apart, then I'll show you how many pieces I got it broken down to. I'm going to take the motor off of the fuse just so nothing heavy they could dangle around and damage it. One more to go. All right. I even found one of the original servos. Fuse, the manual, propeller, and the prop adapter, motor, cowl, got these guys off. They came unscrewed just like they're supposed to. Landing gear, bottom wing, longer than 40 inches. I miscalculated. And these guys right here. Can't forget these guys. And then I got the left and the right flying wires and the other parts of the scaffolding to hold the biplane wing section up. So my 40 inches, yeah. This fuse is probably 37, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, they're 50 inches across. I had totally forgotten that these wings don't split in half like other planes. That they came whole like this. That's how the thing came. You can see the spars, and then on an angle. That's how they came. Let me run the math real quick and I'll let you know what the shipping is going to be. All right, I just went on eBay and pulled up a shipping label section. So FedEx is the way to go for something big and light. That's why every time you get something from Horizon or FMS, it comes FedEx. 48 inches long, 16 by 12. I can mail it for $31.75. Once I go over the 16 by 12, if I do 16 by 13 by 48, it jumps to like 70 bucks. If I go anything past 48 inches, it's over $100. So I've got to stay below the 48 inches, 16 by 12. 16 by 12, 48 inches. So that means I can go caddy corner. I'm exactly 50 inches. So 16 inches by 12. Caddy corner, I think I can go 48. So what's next is for me to clear all this off and get all my boxes that I brought home from work and the razor blade and the glue gun and try to build a box 48, 16, 12. And that was at 10 pounds. 10 pounds ought to cover it. That'll be plenty of building supports inside, and making this box is a couple hours right here. All right, I'm going to try to show you guys the the shipping label process here, and hopefully I don't show anybody's personal information. I think I got everything blocked out. So here I am on my Dynam right here. So we're going to go 10 pounds, right? 10, and then I was talking about 48 inches and 16, 12. Now, if I just hit enter, you can see the price goes to $88.29. But we need to go down here and look through all the different choices on what we can pick from. But we can't pick this, flat rate padded envelope. So go down here, and FedEx home delivery is $31.75. FedEx ground is $32.68. UPS is $37. So we're going to go FedEx home, right? Now it's $31.75. Now I'm going to go back here and change it to like 49 inches. And wait till you see the price difference. All right, now I'll hit enter. Bam, $67.53. Change it to 50 because the wings are, not 450. The wings are 50 exactly. Well, let's say we did the box for the wings and didn't go caddy corner. So like 52. So at a bare minimum, without getting creative going caddy corner, is $68. So I'm going to do 48, and I'll show you the 16 by 12. So let's change this from 12 to 13. $68. So that's good. Keep that in mind if you guys are ever doing eBay or something. Always price your shipping labels before you buy the shipping label, and then you know what kind of box you need to deal with, and the weight. Like that way you don't have to worry about trying to skimp on the weight. Like I know 10 pounds is going to be plenty. I think I can actually go 20 pounds right here. Yeah, and it didn't change because I think 70 pounds is the max. So there you go. That's how you figure out your shipping. All the touch-up paint that I sell, I have to keep all those orders at 4 ounces or less, and the boxes have to be 4 inches by 2, and then it is UPS Ground Advantage, and it's gone up to $4.39. When I started doing the touch-up paint, like I don't know, 2-3 years ago, it was $3.09 is what I had to pay. I just charged the customer like $2.50. So now, then the shipping has nearly doubled in the past couple of years. But you got to stay under 4 ounces, or it goes up. All right, guys, I got to build a box. All right, so here's what I come up with. Got my glue gun, scissors and box cutter, I was able to take 2 boxes that I came across, and the boxes just so happen to be 16. So then I put in 17 wide, and the boxes are 10 inches, or not 10 inches, they're about 10 and a half. So I put 11. So we got 17 by 11, 48. On the dot. Made it. So even though I had 16, 12, 48, I was able to go 17, 13, 48. So it's the same size as far as cubic feet. And it fits like a glove. I chopped out about 4 inches of the 2 boxes and then married them together and glued some gussets in there. You can see this right here, and on the sides and the bottom, and made it fit. So, okay, guys. Thank you. I'll show you the boxed up product. Adios.